ASTROTRAIN really deserves more figures. I mean, a guy who turns into both a spaceship and a train? Come on, that's awesome!
Rocket Man should have been handled a long time ago.
Welcome to Kit Katastrophe. My name is Kit, and today we'll be taking a look at Transformers Titans Return Voyager Class ASTROTRAIN with Dark Moon. This figure came out in 2016 as part of Wave 2 of the Voyager assortment. He is a retool of Titans Return Sentinel Prime. Starting with the Titan Master, Dark Moon is a completely unpainted purple and white robot who vaguely looks like Sentinel Prime. Well, that's because he's a straight recolor of Sentinel Prime's Titan Master Infinitus, whose robot mode is also based on Sentinel Prime. It looks alright, but it really deserves to be painted. You're going to hear this a lot over the next few reviews. Dark Moon's articulation is standard for a Titan Master, with ball joints at the head and shoulders, and joined hinges at the hips and knees. Triple Changers usually have a robot mode, a land mode, and a sky mode, so I'll be starting with ASTROTRAIN's sky mode, a spaceship. This is vaguely based on his original space shuttle mode, but flattened out about as much as Florida. It looks alright. I do like the color work, with the purple slowly taking up more and more precedence on the rear, and the black and white patches on the side. However, the cockpit remains unpainted. Sculpted detail is also nice, with a bunch of nice greebly panel lines on his nose and wings. I really love the forward-pointing guns on the sides. It looks really imposing. ASTROTRAIN features two accessories. One is his traditional G1 rifle, which is nicely sculpted. The other is a patented Titans Return chair gun, which Dark Moon or any other Titan Master can occupy. The weapons can store either on the middle sides of the shuttle, on two angled surfaces in front of the rear wings, whose connection is criminally loose, and just behind the rear wings. There are also ports under each wing, but good luck fitting the chair gun under there. Dark Moon can also fit in a clear plastic cockpit at the rear. Conversion into train mode can be best described as stretching everything out as far as possible. I love the way the space shuttle bisects itself to form the locomotive, and the way that the nose cone flips around to form cow catchers. The wheels of the train are just flip-down panels, which feels kind of cheaty, but whatever. Train mode is absolutely massive. Like, I'm surprised I can even fit this thing on the turntable. It's so long!
That's what she said!
This is no longer the rinky-dink steam locomotive or bullet train of ASTROTRAINs of yore. This is an absolutely massive Decepticon transport, armed to the teeth with turrets. It's honestly giving me a little bit of an Armada tidal wave vibe, except on rails instead of on the sea. The sculpted detail is absolutely breathtaking, with extra minute details being picked out near the cab sections. The wheels are all fake and just molded on, which is disappointing, and they're not even picked out in paint. What the hell, ASTROTRAIN? Well, he has 3 actual rolling wheels, but they're all hidden below the chassis. The 2 guns can store in the same places as shuttle mode, minus the first and last ports I mentioned, but they look best up top near the cockpit. Or would that be a bridge? Oh well. Dark Moon can also stay put in the cockpit. Transformation into robot mode is basically just the transformation to shuttle mode with barely any difference. There's literally no surprises to this. I guess ASTROTRAIN met a surprise quota for train mode, alas. Be warned, the hinges on which his wrists swing out are incredibly tight, so if you lack the nails to do so, it's best to find some sort of tool to wrench them out. Placing Dark Moon into ASTROTRAIN's neck socket and pressing the spring-loaded switch on his abdomen, ASTROTRAIN is ready to roll. The first thing you notice about ASTROTRAIN's robot mode is how shin-heavy he is. It almost looks like he's standing on stilts. Otherwise, ASTROTRAIN looks pretty good. He almost looks like some sort of mob boss, but that might just be the look of his fancy shoes and strong proportions. The quadruple-bladed wing pack looks very impressive from nearly every angle, though I wish the bottom bits folded upwards somewhat. Articulation is pretty okay. It's slightly limited, but also pretty free. He has good range in his arms, with more than 90 degrees of bend in his elbows. His legs, however, are kind of bad. The hip ratchets are fine with just enough detents in both directions, but the knees are where they fall apart. Or rather, just his left one. It's super floppy and doesn't want to hold at all. However, his right knee is super tight. I guess it's just a case of real bad quality control. My favorite part of his posability is at his head. Of course he shares Dark Moon's ball-jointed neck, but one would assume that those pylons surrounding his head would limit that. However, the platform they're on is also a somewhat expressive swivel joint. ASTROTRAIN can wield both of his guns, which look pretty good in his hands, and he can get some pretty expressive poses waving them around. Titan's Return ASTROTRAIN is a pretty decent figure, but not exactly outstanding. His shuttle mode is serviceable, his train mode is amazing, and his robot mode is pretty good. His play pattern is also serviceable, with no really fun surprises or anything. His transformation is also unsurprising. The point is, ASTROTRAIN is not a bad figure, but there are far better figures in the line. This has been Kit Katastrophe. It's time for me to transform and roll out.